Hi, friends. Thank you for joining us for our weekly pastor's update. This week, I had a lovely conversation with a parishioner about our music ministry. In our conversation, she referred to the choir that sings on Sunday at the 9:30 Mass as the gospel choir. I was then reminded that perhaps we may need to keep telling and retelling the story of the transformation of our 9:30 a.m. music ministry because we have not had a gospel choir in 4 years. In 2020, when our world was thrown in the midst of COVID, we were isolated from each other and dealing with lots of divisions and fears on a national and local level. It was during that time when our choirs were paused and we were left with small ensembles of singers in both the gospel choir and the spirit singers coming together. These singers first began on live stream together and eventually started singing live at the masses. And toward the end of the pandemic, something amazing happened. The leaders of both music groups approached the leadership team here at Spiritus, and they said, "We believe that we need to be asking what God needs from us in this moment of time." The answer they came back with was unity. The leaders of both the gospel choir and the spirit singers were clear that they did not want to go back to being separate groups. They wanted to model the beauty of unity and become one mass choir with members from both groups. It was a long process of several meetings and conversations between leaders and singers. And once there was a consensus to be together, they simply approached the administrative leadership team here at Spiritus for parish support, which we were happy to give. You may remember the parish forum where this was presented, the bulletin announcements that were written, or the preaching about it from the pulpit. From that time on, the Spiritus Christi Mass Choir was born and delivered lots of unified genres of music, from Caroline's beautiful violin rendition recently to Margot's amazing, heartfelt version of Great is Thy Faithfulness, to Savon's heart-stirring version of On Time God. They have truly become one sound, one voice, with lots of diversity in their song selection. The diversity of our music doesn't just reside at the 9:30 a.m. Mass, but you'll find diverse music at our 7:30 a.m. Mass, which is more traditional, and our 5 o'clock Mass, which is a combination of traditional and progressive. Periodically, you may hear rumors of how the musical transition happened in our parish that may or may not be accurate. But now you can have an informed conversation about how this gift came to be. A parent this week told me that she was really grateful for the 9:30 a.m. Mass and its music because she said it makes it more accessible to those who are hard of hearing, allowing them to not only hear the music, but to feel it. I love how God meets us in the moments that we find ourselves in as we are called to be more, to be one, to be love. If you want to talk more or learn more about our journey of living into our core values as a Spiritist family, please feel free to contact me and reach out. I'd love to have more conversation. I hope you'll join us this coming Sunday at 4 o'clock for our Children's Sabbath interfaith service in our Spiritus Christi Sanctuary. It's a great opportunity to bring your children, your grandchildren, as we renew our call to ensure the well-being of children. We will gather with many faith leaders to commit to child thriving initiatives. This week, we also send our condolences to Peter Vocal and family on the death of his mother, Mary Ann Vocal. One of my favorite quotes in the world comes from Mahatma Gandhi, which says, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." Thanks so much, friends, and I will see you next week for our weekly Pastor's Update. Take care.